I mean, this is not unusual to go through this at the start of the game. So if this is your experience so far, then don't panic. Help's on the way. So we just spawned in and we're facing north. You always face north. Don't walk forwards into the trees. Just have a little look around, orientate yourselves. Now I know where I am. If you don't know where you are, then the first thing you should probably do is download an app called iZurvive. And the second thing you should probably do is inform your friends and family that you're going to be gone for a while. We're in a place called Kamiwobo or Kamishovo or something or other. Right, we're going to see what happens in this adventure. This guy's got something I really need. When you first spawn in, you want to be looking for 3 key items. First of all, a bag. Second of all, a knife. That was lucky. He had both. Do find them on zombies quite often. And if you're struggling to deal with zombies, I will take you through how I would handle zombies in a second. If we did have a knife already, we could cut up that survivor and use his organs, his guts, to make rope, but we're not going to do that. I did that in my last video. If you want to see that, then check it out. We're going to check some of these houses now, because we've got a decent sized spawn town. We're going to loot up, as I typically would do, and find some key points of interest in this town. This town is called Kamiwobo, and it's on the south coast. Right, let's go back to the main road. If I continue that way, it goes around the corner and then up the east coast to the north. If I continue that way, it goes to a place called Electro, which is one of the larger cities in the game. As it is, I do know where some of the points of interest are, so I'll show you them. Really, there's only 2. There's a well, or a water fountain, or a tap, whatever you want to call it, and there's a police station. So let's go to Kamiwobo police station. Just want to come straight off the road, cut across these gardens, over the fence, pressing X to jump the fence. Can check these houses and this little food shack here. Oh, there's some gloves and there's some jeans. It's improved my look a little bit, hasn't it? And there's some food there, another magazine. Just be careful when you take things off that you don't leave things in the pockets, because I could have quite easily left my magazine there. I tend to pick up all the magazines and bullets I can find to start with until I find a gun that suits 1 or 2 of the magazines. Right, there is a police zombie there, so I want to proceed with a bit of caution. I'm going to equip my knife and I'm going to squat and walk slowly. So I'll press the circle button and I'm walking slowly towards him. There's another police zombie over there. That one's got a stab vest. This one will probably hear me as I'm doing this. It might hear me and then make a noise. If I can do this well enough, I can get close, press the left trigger then the right trigger, and do a stealth attack. That is a great way to kill a zombie if you are carrying a knife. Right, there's the well. There's the police station. That's the smaller of the police stations. You do get large inner city police stations as well. I can hear another zombie and he's aggroed. He's made that noise. You can hear he's made a kind of an alerting noise. And when he sees me, he's going to scream. When he sees me, he's heard me again. Now he's screamed and I'm not going to panic. I'm going to back up, hold my left trigger down, and then I'm going to use triangle to hit him. Try and hit him in the head. With a knife it'll take about 2 or 3 hits. And he's carrying a magazine. Remember, take as many magazines as you can. Right, just going to have a drink from the well. Kamiwobo's quite good because the 2 key points of interest are really close to each other. One's the well and one's the police station. They're right next to each other. Worth keeping an eye and an ear out while you're drinking. That little wheel in the middle kind of spins round. You want to watch for it to go round maybe 10 times while you're drinking, or until you get the stomach full symbol, which is down the right hand side next to the yellow water bottle. You see the yellow water bottle going up? Next to that is my hunger stat, my temperature stat, my blood stat, and my health stat. Really want to keep all those in white if you can. Right, let's go in this police station, see what's in here. If you get the hang of closing doors behind you when you go places as well, then that's really helpful. Just stops people sneaking up on you, stops zombies sneaking in on you. Right down here we've got a gun, so we'll take the gun. Not got a magazine in it. You can see if I hold it in my hand. If you're not into guns, then yeah, that's for like for your sights. You can put a torch on, you can put a silencer, you can put a magazine in. If you're not into your guns, then don't worry, I wasn't either. Soon get used to them. There's another gun there, a Rack 37. Probably going to do this, but you don't need to pick everything up, but you probably will. So just pick everything up and then you'll decide as you get used to the game what you do want to keep, what you don't want to keep. What I'm really looking for in a police station are guns and one of these. That's a stab vest, and that will stop the googlies injuring me as badly. Check upstairs, nothing in here. Got a feeling somebody might have been in here actually, but you never know. Oh, I've got some upgraded clothing there, I'll take that jacket. You never know when someone's around, and when you first start out, don't worry about being too sneaky, avoiding players. You're going to get killed plenty of times. And if anybody wants to kill you for basic starter loot, then, you know, so be it. I'm sure you'll kill other people for their starter loot. What goes around comes around. So that's all pretty much sorted. You can see over there we've got some zombies spawning in. They typically spawn in within 300 meters of a player. If you overlook a town from over 300 meters away, then you know somebody is in or around that town. Right, just going to head over here because there is in Kamiwobo there is a picnic bench, and it also has a map. So if you don't happen to have iZurvive, which I do suggest, you can see where you are on the map. There we are. Also on here, look, there is a water bottle, and that is one of the things that you need to get. Don't drink this water, by the way. You want to be emptying any drinks bottles you find, because the water in there is not good water. We'll just go and fill this up before we deal with those zombies, hopefully. She's heard me. So get out that animation, don't be stuck in an animation, otherwise she will hit you while you're filling your water bottle up. Don't panic if you do get hit by a zombie though. It takes a fair few hits to get you knocked unconscious. Oh, she had a knife as well, bonus. Quite a good start. So we've got all the basics, those 3 basic things I was talking about. Food, water and a knife we've got. Right, now you've got a situation where you've got 2 zombies chasing you. Now you've got options here. What you could do is you could stay and fight, or you can run and hide. And I'm going to run and hide. Just heard a third one aggro as well. So I'm looking for somewhere with a door open. Now I've just been in the police station, so it makes sense to go into the police station, close that door, make sure any of the doors are closed, like the back door, and then all I'm going to do is lay down. And I hate doing this. I find this quite boring. But if I'm out of the line of sight of the zombies and they can't hear me, then sooner or later they're just going to forget about me and go about their business. You can hear them outside. Quite angry, 3 of them, but I find that a bit boring. So an alternative, especially in a place like this where you've got garages, is to try and lock them in garages. And I'd recommend experiment with this and just trying it out. Oh, hang on, before I do that, there's something on the floor there. Some gloves. So I'm going to open these doors, beckon them in, and I'm going to try to lock them in. There we go. So that problem is now no longer a problem. All 3 of them are locked in there. Notice that there's some police loot spawning in these garages. You do get police loot spawning in places next to police stations. So the garages and some of the buildings around. Just make sure you don't accidentally open that garage. I'll check the pockets of those. Found some bullets for guns I don't have yet. Just going to empty that chambered round to keep the bullet. To empty a gun, just have it in your hand. Press the left trigger to point and then double tap triangle. And it empties the round. Equally, to load it, have the gun in your hand, hold down triangle, and it will load the gun with whatever ammo you've got available, or a fullest magazine available. What you also need to do is make sure you've equipped these things in the right places on your quick access wheel. So if you bring up your access wheel with your right bumper, see I've got a pear and a bandage in there. I'm going to put my knife into one of the slots, so I need to go over my knife, press down my left thumbstick, select the slot I want with my right thumbstick, and then press X. There we go. So I'll put my water bottle in one of my pistols in one, and we'll put that other gun. Now that gun, this is a larger gun, can actually equip that on my back. So we'll just quickly put the magazine in there, hold down triangle, and I'm going to select the gun and then press triangle to equip it on my back. Right, so here we are, Kamiwobo. We've got the basics down, doing all right. Just before I leave, if I'm staying in any area for a while, I'm going to just check the trees, because underneath trees you get fruit spawning. This is actually a dried apple. It looks rotten, but it's not rotten. It's dried, it's perfectly fine to eat, and this is a nice fresh apple, perfectly fine to eat. If you find fruit like apples or pears that is rotten, don't eat it. It's not worth it. It just makes you sick. So you'll get sick from rotten food, drinking water that's not clean, gas poisoning, bandaging with a dirty bandage or rag, and cuts from zombies. If zombies hit you, they can make you sick as well. You can also get colds from being too cold, but we're okay at the moment. Right, so we're heading out of town now. Naturally, once you've explored the town and seen enough of it, you'll naturally head inland. Now don't worry too much if you get lost. The one way of navigating is to use the sun. So I know the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. At the moment the sun is just slightly southwest. It's in the south, but it's starting to go down, so it's probably mid-afternoon, probably about 3 o'clock. I don't know that for sure, but I basically know that if I follow my shadow is going northeast, so I'll follow this road north. Check these houses along the way. Check that one. The general rule of thumb is you want to keep your hunger and thirst in white. It doesn't have to be solid white, but yeah, it's definitely worth keeping them white if you can. And don't panic if they do go yellow, but do panic if they go red. If they go red, then there's another gun. Not doing really well for guns. If they do go red, then you need to be prioritising supplies to fix that. we're okay that we've got plenty of food on us. One of the reasons I don't like to have too much food on me is because it takes up slots, and also if anybody kills me, they're going to take that food off me, and I don't want to be a walking larder. There's another gun here. It's a sporter. It's not a great gun, but we'll take it for now because we can carry it. Right, if you find that jogging is a little bit too pedestrian for you, too slow, you can sprint. Wouldn't recommend sprinting all the time because you're going to use up all your stamina. Got all these knives we're finding. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend sprinting all the time, but can get you places quickly and out of bother. So just push forward with your left thumbstick and then press down and you'll sprint. And if you are a bit curious as to what's behind you, you can press down your left bumper and then turn your right stick back and forth. Bear in mind though that you will keep running in the same direction until you take your finger off the left bumper. Right, so we're still heading inland. I'm keeping my... Oh, I've lost my bearing a little bit. Going to follow this. Now remember, the sun was in the south, sort of southwest, so that way is northeast still. So I'm still kind of heading kind of west slightly now. That was going to head north. This way's heading slightly west. Spotted something up here like a shed. We'll check this out, see what we can find in this shed. Oh, chocolate bar, peanut bar, taking it. Right, we're at the end of the trail here, so I want to be a little bit careful that I don't wander off into the woods too much. So this is where you probably want to bring up your iZurvive map and identify this little place here. So if you go to your iZurvive map and you'll find Kamiwobo, where we were before, and then if you follow your finger along this trail, you'll see where we are now. And you'll also know that from looking at that there's a castle nearby. So let's go to that castle. I think it's in that direction. So let's head in that direction to the castle. You can hear some animals off to the right of me there. If you do get really hungry, you can catch, well, you can't catch them. You can shoot and kill a deer. You can shoot foxes, chickens, even farm animals like cows and pigs and sheep and things like that. You can also go fishing, but I won't mention too much to do with fishing on here because I did go fishing in my last video, which again, I'll link it in the description if you didn't see that one. Goes a bit more into detail about how to kill zombies, crafting ropes, things like that. Alright, hopefully we should be able to see the castle shortly. Just get some high ground. If you're ever in doubt, get some high ground and have a little look around. That's what I always do. If I get lost, try and find somewhere that's got a good view to the surroundings. Take in the beautiful scenery. It's a beautiful game. Absolutely stunning. It has got a few downsides, but on the whole, one of the most fun, enjoyable experiences I've had is playing DayZ. Right, here's this castle. Now there is a zombie there, so I want to be a bit careful. I'm going to try that stealth attack. Got my knife selected. Going to creep up on him. There we go. One down. Another one over there. Hasn't seen me yet. I'll sneak up behind him. He's just seen me. There we go. Never mind. Back up. Use your left trigger to bring up your fists. You notice most zombies always do that double swipe action, so he'll go whack, whack, and then I whack. Good places to find hunting gear, castles are, but also things like armour, medieval armour and things like that. Here we found a nice hat. We'll put that on my bald head. There we go. We'll check up here, see if there's anything upstairs. Keep your eye out for some players. How do I put this? Some players in DayZ are a little bit mean-spirited and they might do things like leave bear traps on the stairs, so just look out for that. They are chlorine tablets, useful if you're in the outback and you want to purify your water. You can get water from a lake and then you can purify it. Right, get a good view of the surroundings here. If you open your iZurvive, you can see that over there is a radio tower. And it's marked on your iZurvive just south west of here. We're in this castle, I think it's called Rog, and then over in that direction there's a shed over there. I think it's a little caravan on wheels. Easy to get your bearings coming up here. That's what I meant. Look, there's a great helm. Whack that on. Not great, but I think it offers you some defensive qualities, but personally I'd rather wear a hat. Okay, a bit careful coming down the stairs. You don't want to glitch off through the wall or anything like that. It has been known to happen. It's worth checking your vicinity on the stairs because sometimes, there's another one of those great helms, sometimes you see things that are tiny like that you perhaps wouldn't see by looking. I can't actually see where it's there. Look, that tiny little Mosin compensator. I'm not going to take it. It's up to you. I think it goes on the end of a Mosin rifle. Makes it less, I don't know what you call it. Like I say, I'm not really that into firing guns. I just like the survival game. Yeah, it stops the gun from going up so much. Now remember, the sun was in the south kind of west, so if I do follow the sun I'm heading southwest. From here you've got a few options. If you're at this castle, if you look on iZurvive, northwest of here there is another town called Storoy, and just above that is a military base, so we'll go and check that out now. So we'll go northwest and head to Storoy. So remember, the sun's in the southwest, so my shadow's in the northeast, and I want to go northwest, so I'm going to go kind of in that direction. Back through these gates, we'll try and get to Storoy. Follow this path for a little while and then veer off to the left and we'll hit Storoy. So you do often find these dotted around the map. They're kind of like, well, they're picnic tables, aren't they? But they've always got a map as well. It's like a stop-off for hikers, I suppose. And they usually have some hunting gear. So that one has got a knife, which I will keep as well. So I like taking knives. So if I pick up a knife and find a better knife, I'm happy. It's starting to rain, but I'm not too worried because it's daytime and I'm not going to get cold, I don't think, if I get wet. If I do get soaking wet, I can wring my clothes out. So just over there in the distance you can see there's a barn. That is a yellow barn. To zoom in, I'm just double tapping the left L1, the left bumper, top left bumper. You can see there's a barn over there, and that's marked on iZurvive as an ear of corn. So even though it's raining, I can still just about make out my shadow. If you do lose your bearings, use things like phone lines to help find your way towards places. There's a pub up here, and pubs are marked on the map as a pint of beer. You can probably see that on your iZurvive now. Yeah, and don't know if you find this useful. If you are, then be sure to drop a thumbs up, leave a like on the video. That'd be really appreciated. Helps other people find my videos. Never normally find anything in here, so always worth to have a look. And this is a good place to cook up here if you killed an animal. Check the car. I think there's something on the floor. There is. There's some 308 rounds. Quite a powerful round those are. Worth hanging on to. So if I head up that way, there's the military camp, so we'll go straight up there now. That way would be Steroy Town. So we'll head up this way now to the military camp. So you can see at the moment I'm getting cold. My hunger's going down. My hunger's going down quite fast actually because I'm so cold. So I'm going to grab myself something to eat, and I'm going to see if this rain holds off. If the rain holds off and it stops raining, I'm going to wring my clothes out. I'm not going to rush to wring them out now because I guarantee as soon as I've got them all wrung out, it will stop raining. Yeah, so this is ever so slightly more advanced than my last video. My last video was more about just really getting the basics down, and I would definitely recommend practicing locking zombies in, blocking against zombies, beating zombies up and so on. Okay, so just up on the right here, through these trees, is the military base. And in true DayZ fashion, the thunder and lightning adds the intensity. DayZ is much more dangerous when you are at high interest areas like military bases. A lot of people like to come to military bases to upgrade their right, there's a small camp, military camp there. That's Steroy military, and just beyond it there is a hunting stand in the trees. Usually worth just having a minute or two just to survey the area. There should be zombies spawning in because I'm within 300 meters and you can see them moving about quite chilled. There's one down there to the right, he's just down there, look. I did have some binoculars, I could zoom in more, but I'm fairly confident there's nobody there. If I was worried about people overwatching, I would definitely take a less direct route, perhaps even take the time to encircle the place, go around the tree line, but I'm not going to bother about doing that right now. What I'm certainly not going to do in any situation is start shooting my gun off at zombies in a military area, because military zombies are that little bit harder to beat than regular civilian zombies, I think. And also they will hoard up around you. If you start firing your gun, you're going to have a major problem. The rain is actually going to be advantageous here because when it rains, it really affects the zombie sensitivity. The zombies can't hear you very well. Okay, straight in here, found ourselves an assault vest. I'm not going to wear it, but it would give me extra carrying slots. I'm not wearing it because I'm wearing a stab vest, and assault vest doesn't give me any protection from bullets and attacks from other players and zombies. There we go, we've got an SG5, which is a 9mm submachine gun. I'm not taking it. There is a Colt 45 ACP pistol. Conveniently, he's facing the other way, so we'll take him out. And over here, this is an upgrade. This is a Vega, but it's badly damaged because we're in such an easy place to get to. You find that the guns are not in great shape. I will take it instead of the Sporter. And here there is a Bison, and there was actually a magazine for the Bison, so I'm going to take that for now instead of the Vega because there's a magazine next to it which I can put into it. Now, if you're not into your guns, these guns in DayZ have two different, well, some have more than 2 settings, but this has got a semi-auto and auto. To flick between the two, you just press X. So point the gun, press X, auto, semi-auto. The difference is full auto, when you pull the trigger, it will fire several rounds. On semi-auto, pull the trigger, it will just fire once. Let's hotbar that, just in case I need to use it. The rack and the Bison that I've just picked up do use the same rounds, so I'll try to avoid carrying guns that have the same rounds. Oh, look, now there is another Bison mag, and there is a Vega mag there. If I wanted to take the Vega, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take the Bison because it's, actually I might carry the Bison in my bag. Just check this little sniper tower thing here, see what's here. There's a little Vega. If that's in good condition, I'm taking it. Oh, it's damaged, so I think I'll take that. Let's drop that, put the Vega on my back. We'll put the Bison on my back, and then the rack, I'm going to empty the magazine and then drop the gun. And this magazine I'm going to empty and put the bullets into my Bison magazine. To empty the magazine, I'm just holding down my right trigger. Drop the magazine by holding square when it's in your hands. And now if I grab this other magazine, I think this one's in good condition. Yeah, that's pristine, so I'm going to grab that in my hands. And when I first started, I thought you had to choose the ammo and then combine. If you do that, it just takes a few minutes to do, so there's a quicker way. What you can do instead is just make sure it's in your the magazine's in your hand, hold down triangle, and it auto loads the magazine. with the newest available rounds. This Bison holds 64 bullets. You can see them next to the name of the magazine on the left hand side. It tells you 64. That's how many bullets it holds. Drop that on the floor, combine it with my gun. Right, let's check up these steps, see if there's anything up here. Some players do put landmines at the top of these stairs, so do be careful. I think I've checked everything. I think I've checked all these places. Right, that's a worn knife, so we'll drop some of these knives now. I don't want to be carrying too many knives. Right, we're starting to get cold now, so we are going to need to warm up, or we're going to lose our hunger and thirst quite quickly. We just ducked through the trees here, so just to the west of this base, through the trees, I think it's the west, might be the north. Yeah, it's the northwest. There is a hunting stand. There's sometimes are zombies in the woods though, so just be careful. Yeah, there's one there. Look. Oh, there's a mushroom. Now mushrooms spawn when players are in the vicinity. Luckily, I think it's because I'm in the vicinity. We'll take that. We can eat it later. We'll just sneak up on him and then we'll do that. And he's carrying a can of spaghetti. Always worth checking the zombies. They always carry food and things. Well, they don't always carry things, but they sometimes carry stuff that you need. Oh, another knife. Finding a lot of knives right now, but it's not in great condition, I don't think. Right, keep on keeping on. Doesn't look like this storm's going to subside. We've got a little bit of food, but we could do with a little bit more food. So what I might do is head down into Staroy, and then we'll also see if we can find some more bandages and medical supplies, just in case we catch a cold. If we do catch a cold, we're going to need some tablets. So we'll head down now into Staroy town. It's got one of those police departments. You can see it there, that yellow building with the little dome on top, just like at Kamiwobo. Head down there now. Okay, so the good thing about this place is there are 3 really useful points of interest within really close proximity of each other. You've got the police station, you've got the medical centre, and you've got this general store. And you've also, over there somewhere, is the well, and up on the hills of church. So we'll go in here and see what goodies it's got. So when you find a pair of shoes, check the condition of your own shoes. It's always worth taking a pristine pair of shoes. Mine are pristine. Mine are drenched, but they're pristine. So I'll keep my own shoes on. Some more. Now that's rubber slugs I'm not going to take. Compass, when you're first starting out, might be worth taking. So you can equip that. If I take that radio off, now I'm struggling for space now. So what I could do with doing is making this bag a bit bigger. Because it's a courier bag, I can add sticks to it to make it a little bit bigger. There's a map down there. There's a map. Oh, it's a pumpkin seeds. So I'm just going to quickly grab a long stick and we'll make this bag a bit bigger. You might have seen in my previous video how I did this. Quite straightforward. As long as you've got a courier bag, it could be a fur courier bag or a burlap courier bag. You just snap a stick down, a long stick into 3 sticks, and then combine it with your empty courier bag. And you have to empty everything out. This is a little bit annoying, to be honest, but yeah, it's necessary. Don't know why this is the case, but there you go. Right, so we grab the courier bag in our hands. Right, so you grab the fur courier bag or burlap courier bag in your hands, go over to your 3 sticks, has to be 3 sticks, hold down combine, and then it says craft fur backpack. Hold down your right trigger and you'll do some funky hand moves, and by the time the wheels spun all the way around, there you go, throw that on your back. It's got a few extra slots, 5 extra slots. While I'm here I might have a little bit of a sort out of my inventory. What I used to do is just throw everything on the floor and just be brutal. You don't want to be carrying around a load of things you don't need. I'm going to combine these 9x9 19 bullets with these 9x19 bullets to save space, because otherwise there's 2 separate stacks and there's no point in that. And I'll take this ammunition for guns I've not got yet, and we will take the torch and the battery from that radio. We'll take that just in case it gets dark later. Well, it will get dark later, but in case I need it when it gets dark. We're sorted. Inventory management. There we go. Left a few things I didn't need for somebody else if they want them. That's another sign of a player being nearby. If you find a little pile of drop loot like that, you often find them in police stations because people have had an empty out, or in military bases. We'll head to the military station in a second, but we'll pop in here first. Notice how easy it is to sneak up on these zombies at the minute in the rain. Because it's raining, they just act totally differently. He's a paramedic guy. He might be carrying something. No, he isn't. That's an EpiPen that can help me sprint for longer. I'm looking for tablets that will help me get well if I get a cold. They're charcoal tablets. They're useful if I get a poorly tummy from eating or drinking dodgy things. There's a little first aid bag there with a bandage in. Just because you haven't found what you need in here doesn't mean it's not around somewhere. So what we'll do is check a little bit around the building. There might be a building or two or a zombie or two that spawn medical loot on them. She has seen me, so now we've got 2 zombies on us here again. I'm going to focus on the blue one because I've given the blue one a hit or 2. Now I've taken the blue one down. Now we've got multiple, so I'm going to need to hide or lock them in somewhere. Once you've got more than 2, it's not worth risking it. Get yourself in somewhere, lock yourself in, or lock them in. Okay, while we're seeing if they'll chill out there, we'll have a check in here. If you've got a teammate, you can craft armbands from raincoats. You can also do it from flags as well. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to craft some rags from that, because then we might be able to make ourselves a rope belt if we get enough rags. I need 2 stacks of 6 rags to make myself a rope belt, and then we can put a knife in the rope belt. We could also turn the rope belt back into a rope and use it for fishing later. Right, have they relaxed yet? No. They're very aggro. See, their elbows are out. So I might try and get 1 or 2 at a time. These piano houses are great for locking zombies in, by the way. I'll show you why. Well, they're great for dealing with zombies. So you can get them in here. You can run onto the piano and they won't be able to hurt you. You can just hit them from the piano. It's a top tip. Piano houses, use the piano. Where he's gone. He's actually got a better stab vest than me, so I'm going to put my knife away. See, look how nice and clean his stab vest is. I think it might be pristine. He's got a new one out there. Storage cupboard, obviously. He's a new recruit. See, what is it? Pristine? Yeah, it is. So I'll swap it for mine, and then I'll dump the bad condition one. If I had a leather cleaning kit or a epoxy putty, I could repair that, but now I've got a pristine one, I don't need to worry. Right, there's that well. So we'll grab our canteen, drink what's in it. You can see there's actually a dress on there. I can cut that up and get a full stack of rags from that. Fill up our water bottle. See if we can do it before that old woman jumps over. Just, here she comes. I'll put that away, because if I hit it with my canteen, I might damage it. She hasn't got anything. We'll cut that dress up. I'm digging up worms. We'll cut the dress up. Sometimes we're taking a helmet for protection, but I don't like the muffled ones, the ones with the face coverings, because you can't actually hear people very well. There's a tannoy. If you've got a car battery, you can use that to speak to people in the town. Right, if I combine that with the stack of 5 and then combine it with a stack of 6, I can craft a rope and make a rope belt, so I'll be able to put a knife in that and it'll save a few slots of my knife. There we are, tie rope belt, throw that on. To wear an item of clothing, make sure, remember you press triangle to equip that onto my rope belt. I press triangle again. And let's keep on keeping on. Greenhouses can sometimes spawn cans of drink and packets of seeds. You can also plant plants in there if you want to, but I've never really seen the point of that, to be honest. Because we've been in here a little while, there is some fruit around the trees, so when you're a beginner, I definitely would recommend checking under trees for fruit. Because if you're wanting to go on a bit of an adventure, the last thing you want to do is get hungry, but don't take fruit like that. Look, that is rotten. Now the rain's stopping and I think it's going to clear up because I can see the sun that's breaking through. Wear that round our mouth, matches our hat. Yeah, the rain's definitely stopping. So we've got yellow hunger now, so I'm going to eat that spaghetti, because it's taken up 4 slots in my inventory. I always try and eat the food that's taking up the most space. And eat as much food as I can, really, because I don't want to be carrying it around. So I'll probably eat as much as I can now. It's stopping. Rain is stopping. I'll have a quick look on my iZurvive now. So from here, you could head north to Shukovka, which is called Wazopka on your iZurvive. Or you could head west. I would head west here and go to Komira and see if there's a military convoy there. On the map, military convoys are marked as a little white truck. Okay, so we're going to go west now. Remember before the sun was in the south? Well, the sun is probably in the west now. It's starting to the shadows are getting longer and it's starting to get evening. So I'm using that knowledge, basic survival knowledge, and I'm going to try to navigate by the sun, by my shadow. And we'll try and go to that place called Kamirana. Right, so walk towards the sun. So you see a power line there. There should be a hunting stand over there. No, I think there's a hunting stand on the hill there. There is a hunting stand and there's a farm there. Now, I just sneezed. That means I've got a cold. So I've been a little bit careless and I've been running around in wet clothes. My mother would not be pleased. I've been running around in wet clothes, catching my death of cold. So we're just going to check this hunting stand and then we'll wring out our clothes and try and get ourselves warm. So to do that, I'm going to need to have a quick fire. So it's not a problem. If you've got a cold early doors, as long as you're not, you don't let it progress, you can get rid of it. That was a weapon cleaning kit. That's useful to fix that bison up in a minute. But the priority now is getting rid of this cold. If you are worried about people seeing you, don't light a fire at night time. And do use trees to catch the smoke. So if I build this fire here, just next to this tree, drop the log on the floor, and then grab that paper in my hand and combine it with the firewood, you can see I can craft a fireplace underneath that tree where the tree branches are going to catch the smoke from the fire, and then anybody looking in this direction will not see the smoke. Now that's moved the fireplace a bit over, so I'm going to just pick that up in my hands go a bit nearer to the tree. Drop it down there. There we go. Right, now I've got to light it. I haven't got any matches, so I need to make a hand drill kit. That's easily done. So I'll get some light bark or dark bark, whichever bark you can find. Grab one piece and then grab a long stick. Snap it in half like we did when we made the bag, and then combine that with the bark. And then don't press it straight away because it says craft fireplace, so move up to craft hand drill kit. We'll be warming up in no time. May as well throw those sticks on the fire as a little bit of extra fuel. Grab the hand drill kit in your hand. Don't stand right over it because you'll burn yourself. Stand back a little bit. Don't burn yourself. There we go. And while this fire's burning, I'm going to drop my soaked stab vest on the floor and my soaked bag on the floor, my drenched bag in fact, and my soaked shoes or drenched shoes. I can't wring those three things out, but I can wring everything else out and bring everything else back down to damp. In fact, my bandana isn't even wet, but my jacket is wet. And every time I go round on that wheel, it brings it down a wetness status. So if it's drenched, it goes down to wet, and then, or something like drenched to soaked to wet to damp, I think, something like that. And my temperature's starting to go up, so we will get rid of this cold in no time. Just be careful when you take an item of clothing off that's damaged there. I wasn't really careful there, but when I took those jeans off, I saw they were damaged when I took them off. If they are ruined, you won't be able to put them back on. So if you take off a ruined bag, a ruined coat, ruined gloves, anything you take off that's ruined, you won't be able to put back on. So just be mindful of that. Probably do with finding some warmer clothes if I can, like some hunting clothes or a pea coat, hiking jacket maybe. Right, that was really wet. Now it's just wet. I think it was soaked or drenched. What was that? That's still soaked. While we've got this cold, we will keep on topping up our food and our water, because the higher in the white you can get your food and your water, the better your immune system is, and the more likely you are to get rid of this cold. If we can't get rid of it this way, we're going to have to find some medication, some vitamins or some tetracycline from a medical centre. But I'm fairly confident we can get rid of this because we caught it early. I'm not going to stay until I get rid of that germ symbol. Can you see the germ symbol down at the bottom right, by the way? I didn't mention that. Next to my drink, I've got a germ symbol. And then before that, I forgot to mention there was actually the wet clothes symbol. If I put this bag on, yeah, see I've got my wet clothes symbol back on, so you don't want to run around with wet clothes. So I'll take those off again. If you can dry them out, you should dry them out. Now that's damp now, I'll put that back on. The driest you can get something is damp. Okay, so we're not going to stay at this fire anymore. We are going to continue to head west, so we want to head into the setting sun. Looking for a road that leads to Cymru. Hopefully by the time I get back to you now, my cold will have gone. I think we're well on the way to getting rid of the cold. I mean, if you do get a little bit lost, I'm not saying I'm lost yet, but you do get a little bit lost. Part of the beauty of the game is discovering new places. I sometimes wish I could go back to that time where I'd never played the game before and I could just find and discover new places. Yeah, so we were right. We found the road that leads to Kamiwobo, and we're just about to join it now. There is power lines leading that way to. I'll follow these power lines and I can't go far wrong. Just up and over here should be a hunting stand coming up soon. In fact, there it is there. There's the place. This town's quite easy to recognise because the buildings are ruined. So the buildings are all like ruined, like bombed. Still haven't lost the cold yet, but still got the germ. But I haven't coughed for a while or sneezed for a while, so I think it's on its way out. And I don't think there's a convoy here right now. Normally it would be over there just to the... Oh, I think there is a convoy actually. Yeah, there is. So there is a convoy here. And that's very lucky. You don't always get them here guaranteed. But there's the military vehicles. And over there are some military zombies, which I'm going to need to take out. Just before it gets dark, I'll show you the reason why you shouldn't shoot your gun around zombies. So what we'll do is we'll climb up on this tank here. And we'll shoot a zombie and we'll see what happens. You can probably predict what's going to happen. Yeah, on a quiet server is a good way of getting rid of a lot of zombies. Now, if you want to practice shooting, then your left trigger brings your gun up, right thumbstick puts you down to aim down barrel, and hold down your left thumbstick to hold your breath. That's dependent on stamina. Or you can just practice hip fire, which is what I do. With a pistol like this, I'd hip fire. 4 bullets left in my gun, so I don't want to be wasting too many of these bullets. Now that gun is jammed. See, it's got an X, so to unjam it, I need to hold down triangle until he bashes the gun a couple of times. It expels the jammed bullet, and you can go back to shooting these zombies. That gun is now empty. Let's have a go with this. See, here's full auto. There we go. Zombies dealt with. I don't recommend climbing up onto vehicles like this, by the way. I think I said it in my last video. You pretty much guaranteed trouble. You will get spotted by other players and will get killed. Right, check around, check these zombies. If you get to a convoy, now there's a pretty decent gun. That's an AUG A1. We'll take that. There is a magazine for my Vega. That's nice. I'm now carrying 3 guns there, so that's a little bit of a problem. That magazine is for a KA-101. I'll take it if I do by chance manage to find one. That is a Lamass, so we'll take that instead of the Bison. It's got a magazine. Great. I don't recommend faffing about like this, by the way, when you're at places like this. Is quite a dangerous place to be doing this. Yeah, if you fired your gun, the last thing you want to be doing is standing around sorting out your inventory. There's a magazine for my AUGs. That AUG I picked up will fit that magazine. So because we've found a military convoy, we've instantly upgraded our weapons quite significantly. Have a look at that one. Now there is it in really good condition? It's in really good condition. So I'm going to drop the Vega, take that. We'll go and see what we've got. We'll hide in a bush and see what we've upgraded to. Let's hide in here. Again, I would go way away from here if you've been firing your gun. Now I've got a decision to make. I've got myself two guns that carry the same bullets. There's that AUG A1 and there's also this Lamass, wherever it's gone. I think I put it on my back. Very similar guns. They've both got like an annoying sight. When you look down sight, that's a really annoying down sight. And the same with that one when you look down sight. But I do slightly prefer the AUG A1. So I'm going to take the AUG A1. I'm going to empty these magazines out because I'm not going to carry these magazines. That magazine is badly damaged. So I'm going to repair it with my gun cleaning kit that I picked up earlier from that hunting stand. Grab it in my hand. I'm going to combine and I'm going to repair. And it will keep going around until it gets back to a worn state. I've not even needed to go near a very, very dangerous base yet because I've actually found this convoy. I'm quite happy with what I've got so far. Put that into my hotbar. Okay, it's raining and getting dark. Finish loading that magazine up. And now we'll put the battery in that torch. If I didn't have a torch, I would have to craft one. There's some rags. I think I've got some rags, yeah, and a stick. Thankfully, I've got a torch. Now, if we look at iZurvive, I'm at Kamiwobo and I'm heading to a place called Novi Sobor. Follow this road until we get to the hunting camp just before Novi Sobor. So let's get a sprint on. Now, because we're now no longer sick, I don't want to get sick again, so I'm going to try and keep my white stats nice and high. As long as you're not on too busy a server, travelling at night isn't too dangerous. Just running into zombies when you don't have a light source can really, really mess you up. I wouldn't recommend, as a beginner, travelling at night time. In fact, I would just close the server. I'd go to a different server if I were you and use the guns that you just found on fresh spawns. I'm only joking, don't do that. I'm not veering off into the woods, I'm just sticking to the road because I can follow this quite nicely on iZurvive. In a few minutes time there will be, I think, a pub on the right hand side and a hunting camp, which we'll hopefully get some good loot from. To give you some idea, this is what it's like without a torch, but it's not pitch black yet. Don't usually miss this hunting camp because there is a signpost for it. I think we might have taken a wrong turn. No dramas. Let's just check this house and we'll have a think. Oh, I can hear a river. So we have taken a wrong turn and there's a river outside this house, and now zooming in on the iZurvive map, we are in this house here. So no problem, we'll just try and find our way north. So, oh, we found, that's better. See, everything happens for a reason. We've now found a head torch, so we can transfer the battery into my head torch and drop that. And to turn the head torch on, just press triangle. So now I can carry a gun. Okay, here's the river, the stream that's on that map. So I do want to be going north. So this stream needs to be on my left hand side. So we'll follow this path north. And we'll still come back onto the trail that takes us onto the hunting camp. Nighttime lasts about 30 minutes. Hear a deer in the distance there. We're not going to try hunting deer in the dark yet though. Okay, here's the hunting camp. There's the sign. It's called Nadezhda. There's the pub. And there are zombies here, so it's worth being ready for them. So I've got my knife out ready. And if in doubt, I will get my sneaking out. So because we're slightly more into the map, the loot you find is going to be of a higher standard, higher tier. Although I've just found a hoodie. But yeah, take my word for it, there is better loot in places like this. You will find some schooly things because it is like a summer camp. So some kids would have left their backpack there on the bar in the pub. Right, I don't want to lose my bearings. I am looking for hunting cabins now. And I'm keeping an ear out for zombies. I'll probably hear them before I see them. That's the wrong way, that's the bus. It's back this way. Here they are, look. Now here I'm looking for improved clothing and a really decent rifle to use those 308 rounds with. Just take it nice and easy. Don't want to get myself a problem that can be avoided. Can very quickly go from being thriving to in a bad shape. Right, there's a nice gun. So that is probably my favourite gun in the game. That's a Blaze, and I've got bullets for that. Scope's in okay condition. It does need a battery. I'm going to drop the KA-74 for now, unfortunately. I don't have any bullets for it really, and this is a hunting rifle, so, and it is my favourite rifle. I might actually find another one, so I won't repair it yet. Might also find a better scope. Oh dear. I would not leave a fully loaded KA-74 on the floor, but I'm doing it. I'm taking it because it's a better rifle and it's a better assault rifle than that, and I might find some more bullets for it. And again, I wouldn't leave a fully loaded AUG A1 either, and I probably should take the bullets out of it, but I'm not going to. I've made a choice. I'm not going to. Check down here. You can sometimes find things on the shelf. Right, so let's go up to. There's a medical up here. Somebody might have been in. Oh, there we go. I'll just get it back hold if we get one. Okay, so we want to be heading north, and if you look on iZurvive, you'll see that the medical centre that we've just been in is on the far north tip of this hunting camp. So I'm going to use that to navigate in the dark and go towards Novi Sobor. In fact, I'm going to miss out Novi Sobor, and then we're going to divert towards Stary Sobor. So we see on the map there's Novi Sobor and Stary Sobor, which are quite close to each other. Stary Sobor has got a military, so I'm going to go straight there instead. Okay, so navigating in the dark can be a bit tricky. I can see off in the distance there's a church. That is the church in Novi Sobor. One thing you can do is look at the sky, and you'll see there is a line that runs through the sky from east to west, and that's the Milky Way. So it's very faint over there. That is the eastern side of the Milky Way, and that is the western side of the Milky Way, and that heads west. So if I want to go west, I follow the Milky Way. I want to go northwest some, and I'm looking for power lines running overhead as well. So I can see the power lines, they run directly to Stary Sobor. We've kind of gone from very, very beginner to some semi-advanced stuff here. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial. I think it's a little bit of something for everyone. This has got a bit of a lake there, so be careful. I'm in it. Careful. Here's where the power lines branch off, so we're following these ones to Stary Sobor. And by the time we get to the end of these power lines, it should probably be getting light. You don't really want to be turning the game off when it gets dark. You want to be trying to thrive in the dark, and that's what we're doing. It's kind of a beginner to intermediate video, I suppose. Right, now in the distance, probably can't see it, but I can see Stary Sobor. There's a huge Texas Chainsaw style barn. Just to the north of that barn are some military camps. We need to put our AK in our slot. I've kept the AK because it is really a much better gun than the small AUG. If I had the big AUG AX, I wouldn't have swapped. Now remember, this is a beginner's guide. You want to be much more careful, like going hiding in tree lines and things like that, but you don't want to be doing all that sort of thing when you're beginning. You just want to get used to the map. So I'm hopefully taking you step by step through this little loot route. And now this is probably, I would say, a moderate tier before getting to the bigger military bases like VMC, Commence, anything like that. Of course, don't grab your bandage, grab your knife. Now there are zombies here, so I am taking my time, taking it easy. Usually I'll go up into the trees on the right, but for the sake of this video, I am doing it this way. He's heard me. Don't want him to scream. Thankfully he hasn't screamed. Right, now up this hunting tower there is usually something like an SKS or some ammunition or of sorts, and of course there's a USG. I'm not taking the USG, but you could if you want, if you're into that sort of thing. It's a submachine gun. Sneaking around here really, because there are zombies around. I can hear their footsteps. Some more 308 bullets. These containers can be useful if I end up getting a bit of zombie aggro. Put my knife out, I can hear a zombie around this corner. I'm going to try and stealth kill him. At night time around zombies you want to be really cautious, because you can end up in a world of pain. That zombie's aggroed. He's seen me and he's shouting. Found some more bullets for my AK there. Take this guy out. I don't want to mess about too much with zombies. I want to be taking them out as soon as possible. We'll load up that magazine in a bit. once we've got out of here. Now before he aggroes, I'm going to close that door. Then we'll try and lock him in here. What I can do, climb up on top, and he will run inside. If I back up a little bit, hey, go inside. And then I can close that door. He's locked in. He can't get out there now. You know, I always think, when I'm playing this game now, I think if I can do this, then you can easily. Just takes a bit of practice. A couple more tents, and then we're done. There's also another, I understand, have I gone the wrong way? No, I haven't. Use my vicinity button. There's a pistol flashlight there. Some more AK bullets. I think there might be a couple more tents over this way, or at least one more. No, there's another hunting stand there. Go up here. You can't get me when I'm up here. Gas mask if you're wanting to do a gas zone. That's a bit Mission Impossible style, wasn't it? Jump down on him. More SK rounds there, but I'm not going to take them. As long as it's not one of the captain zombies with a hat. They're the ones to be really careful of. Okay, so I would say what we've done there is probably top end of beginner, lower end of novice, and I would definitely say that anyone who's got a few hours in the game could do what I've just done. So if you want to take your game to the next level, just if you're a beginner and you want to go a little bit outside your comfort zone, it's probably a loot route worth following, and you can get yourself to Starry Sobor just like this, and hopefully pick up a couple of convoys along the way and get yourself some half decent stuff. So I'm going to end it there now, and yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and see you next time.